Hi friends, it's me Desiree with Clearday. Today we're going to play a game where I ask you a question and you have to come up with as many answers as you can, okay? So let's get started. Name something that you can eat that comes on a stick. All right, what are some things that you can eat that come on a stick? Think about being at the carnival or a fair or an event or food trucks, right? What are some foods that are commonly come on a stick? You can find corn dogs on a stick, right? Corn dogs. What about popsicles and ice cream? Those come on sticks. If you've ever done a cookout or barbecue, maybe you've cooked kebabs, right? They come on skewers. What about cotton candy? I don't know if when they first came out they used to use sticks. Now they use like a paper. But you still have to hold it in your hand, right? And then what about a candy apple or a caramel apple? Or caramel, however you say it. They come on sticks, right? All right, next question. Name something you wouldn't be able to do if your water was shut off. What is something you wouldn't be able to do if your water got shut off? Just start thinking of some things, right? If your water was shut off, you wouldn't be able to bathe or shower. What about cooking? We need water to cook certain recipes, right? We wouldn't be able to wash our hands. We couldn't boil water. We couldn't flush our toilets or wash dishes, right? Those are all some good ideas. Right. Name something you pick. What is something that you would pick? Can you guess? Name something you pick. Right. You can pick flowers. You can pick fruit. You can pick your nose. You get to pick out your pet, right? And you can pick your teeth if you have a little toothpick, right? All right, our next question. Name a foreign accent that's easy to tell what country the person comes from. What are some accents that are easy to tell what country the person comes from? I grew up in the military. My father was in the Air Force, and so we grew up with people from all over the world. And I've heard almost every accent. But some accents are very easy to tell. What are those? What about a British accent, right? I would do one for you, but I'm not very good at making different types of accents. French. If somebody speaks French, you can tell their accent, right? What about German? A German accent. Spanish, right? A Spanish accent, you can tell. Chinese. If someone speaks Chinese, you can tell they have an accent a lot of the time. What about Irish, right? Those from Scotland and Irish, or Ireland, and Australia even. I think that their accent stands out. Next question. Name something you might offer someone even if they didn't ask for it. What might you give someone even if they don't ask for it? Right? Food. Food is something we give to people even when they don't ask. Drinks, right? Advice. Sometimes we give people advice when they don't ask for it. What about help? Sometimes people don't have to ask for help for you to go and help them. Money, a mint. Have you ever been pulling out a piece of gum and just thought to ask whoever's next to you if they'd like one too? And what about a place to sit? Maybe you're sitting at a bench and you have your bag there and you see someone that doesn't have anywhere to sit, you can move your bag and offer that to them, right? All right. Our next question. Name something a husband might do when his pregnant wife yells, "It's time." What does a dad do? Maybe he panics, right? Or screams, "Ah!" He runs to get the keys to the car, maybe, right? It's time to go. He might faint, right? Will he call his mom or call his family and let them know? What about starting to sweat? They get nervous, right? They hop in the car and go straight to the hospital. Call 911 or jump. Maybe you guys have had experience with that personally. All right. Name something no fairy tale would be complete without. What does every fairy tale require? Name something no fairy tale would be complete without. In every fairy tale, we need a happy ending, right? A happy ending. Or a beginning, right? In the beginning. What about a prince? Or an evil, a witch or somebody, right? A princess, a fairy godmother. There's usually some type of magic when it comes to fairy tales, right? All right. Name something that would be impossible to do in the dark. What are some things that you cannot do if it's dark? What about reading a book? It's almost impossible to read in the dark, right? What about seeing? Can you see if it's dark? Not very good. What about putting on makeup in the dark? You might come out with some extra bright makeup on your face if you try doing that. What about eat in the dark? Could you eat in the dark? Maybe. Might be a little bit trickier. And then writing, right? It's hard to write in the dark. It's not good for our eyes to do those things either. All right, next one. What's one thing in your house that gets used more than anything else? What one thing in your house gets used more than anything else? What about the TV remote? Or your bathroom, right? Your toilet. The kitchen, the refrigerator. We use that more often, right? Your telephone. What about your phone? Your bed. We spend a lot of time in bed, right? What about coffee pot? I know at my house that's one of my number one go-tos in the morning. The microwave. We use the microwave, right, to reheat food, to make food. And our washing machine. Those are all pretty frequent for me. All right. Name something people in the house turn on while doing chores. What are things that you turn on while you're doing chores around the house? Right? You turn on the radio, music. That usually helps me get through my chores, right? You might have the TV on. Maybe you're folding laundry while you're watching TV. What about the lights? We turn on the lights in all the different rooms that we go into, right? We turn on the dishwasher. We turn on the vacuum. Yeah, those are all things that we use while we're doing chores. All right. Name something that happens every Easter Sunday. On Easter Sunday, what is something that you always do every year without fail? What about attending a church service, right? Maybe you go to watch an Easter egg hunt, or you're hunting the Easter eggs. Isn't it nice that when you go from being a child and looking for candy, you turn into an adult and then you start looking for money? What about bunnies and baskets, right? Easter Sunday, we decorate eggs, right? There's egg decorating. And sometimes a family dinner. All right. Name a mistake that little children make when getting dressed. What's a mistake small children make when they get dressed? What are some things they do when they're little? What about putting their shoes on wrong? Right? Have you ever seen a child put on the wrong shoe on the wrong foot? What about putting their clothes on backwards or inside out? Small children often button their shirts wrong, right? And they don't know how to tie their shoelaces yet. Right. Speaking of shoes, name something that's hard to get off of your shoes. Have you ever stepped in something and it was difficult to get it off of your shoe? Name some things. What are some things that get stuck to our shoes? Number one thing, gum, right? We've all stepped in gum. What a mess, right? It's hard to get off. What about dog poop? When we're outside, that's why we try not to walk on the grass, right? Mud and dirt. After it rains, a lot of times we step in mud. These are probably less common, but it happens. Stepping in tar or cement, wet cement, right? Or paint. It's tough to get those things off your shoe. All right. Name something people get on and off of. What are some things that people get on and get off of? Think of some things. What are some things that you would get on and then get off? What about a bus? We ride the bus, right? We get on and off. What about a horse? You get on the horse, you get off the horse, right? A train or a subway or a tram, right? A bike and our feet. We get off of our feet. Or we get on our feet, right? Name something you get into and out of every day. So this is very similar to the last one, right? What is something that you get into or out of every day? Bed, right? We get in bed, we get out of bed. It's tough for some of us to get out of bed when it's nice and comfy. What about your car? Getting in and out of a car. Or the shower, right? The tub. You get in, you get out every day. And then your clothing. Whatever you're wearing, you have to get in it and you have to get out of it, right? All right. If you lost your sense of smell, what smell would you miss the most? What's a scent that you enjoy, that you love, that if you lost your sense of smell, you would miss greatly? What about food? Well, if you can't smell food, you might not be as hungry, right? Flowers, people, and cologne and perfume, right? Name something you always associate with tornadoes. What are some things that we associate with tornadoes? What about destruction, right? Or wind and funnels. We see the twister, right? Lightning and thunder and rain or floods. Do you guys, when you think of a tornado, do you guys think of the Wizard of Oz? What about darkness? Yeah, those are all things that correlate with a tornado. All right, name something that comes through the window. Name something that could come through the window. What could it be? Maybe the air or a breeze, right? It comes through the window. A bird could fly through the window. Sunlight, right? Sunlight comes through the window. A burglar could come through the window. We don't want that, but it could happen. Mosquitoes and other flying insects could come through the window, right? A fly. What about a ball? Do you guys have children who play baseball in the backyard? Had a baseball come through the window a time or two? All right. Our last one. Name something with teeth. Name something with teeth. A dog, right? Us, humans, we have teeth. Sharks have teeth. Alligators and crocodiles. What about a comb? To comb your hair. We call those bristles on a comb teeth, right? All right, you guys, I hope you had fun with this game. We'll see you next time.